All right, guys,
Catherine's
and if
cancer
you
update video left many of us in tears. Queen Maxima commemorated the 80th anniversary of a liberation of one of the towns in the Netherlands. We also had the ending of the royal sailing season in Denmark, the Swedish royals at the opening of Parliament, and of course, Meghan Markle showing off once again why she definitely deserves to be on the worst dress list. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Royal Fashion News. My name is Brittany, and today is the best and worst dressed the week, where I look at many, many royal ladies. This time, I believe we have about 12 or 11 on each side. So many royal ladies look, and I share with you my thoughts on the best and worst looks of the week. Of course, you can let me know at the end of the video what you thought of my choices. And just as a reminder, this is all in good fun. So let's go ahead and get into it because we've got a lot of ground to cover. I like to have some fabulous jewelry at a fabulous price. I do have a relationship with Ana Lucia Diamonds. I am wearing their stuff today, including my 7-stone eternity band here. I absolutely love it. I got my tennis bracelet, which is 2 carats. It looks absolutely fabulous. I got some earrings here. These are some amazing, amazing hoops. I think they are the biggest size. I got some little studs here, and of course, my cross necklace. So if you guys are interested in any of this, I do have a code. So if you put in the code ROYAL20, you shall save 20%. And especially, I think, with something like this cross necklace, Catherine has one, a couple other royal ladies. Of course, a lot of them have tennis bracelets, an eternity ring like this, and of course, diamond hoop earrings as well. So again, if you want to get, they are lab created diamonds. So if you want to get a great piece of jewelry for a fabulous price, go ahead and check them out. There will be a link up above. And don't forget, use code ROYAL20 to save 20%. To start off with, let's look at one of the best looks of the week. And this comes courtesy of Queen Matilda of the Belgians. And she is in this Natan dress, and she has Carolina Herrera earrings on. And I've got to say, guys, I am loving this soft peach look with the pattern. I'm not always a huge fan of Natan, but I just do think this really looks great on her. I think the coloring especially looks really amazing. And so I think it's a great, great choice for her. She's at some sort of concert event. And so I think she looks absolutely fabulous. So now we're going to move on to the worst dress list, and we'll switch off backwards and forwards. And at the end, I will tell you what is my favorite and least favorite look of the week. So first, we have on the worst list, we have Queen Maxima of the Netherlands. In this Natan Couture number, she has Gianvito Rossi pumps on and a Stealthman jewelry. And I just gotta say, I just don't like this thing at all. Like, especially around the bust area, the construction's just a little odd. It's just a little much, especially for this particular event. Not that she had to, let's say, tone it down, but given that this is the 80th anniversary of the liberation for the Netherlands, essentially, it seems like this started in the Southern, and it was a big deal. This just, I just think is a poor outing. I just think it's a poor outing. She first debuted this look in Sweden during the state visit. We've definitely seen it before. Didn't really care for it then. Don't really care for it now either. And it looks a little bit awkward too. And I know she probably couldn't fully control this, but it did look a little awkward when she was trying to help the World War II veteran down the way because she's in these sky high heels. So I don't know if flats would have worked, because apparently, guys, flats are in. Flats are in. So maybe a shorter heel might have been a bit better there. So it doesn't look quite so awkward. But anyways, and I just don't really like the flower in the hair either. I don't know. I just think a different look could have been better here from Maxima. So I do have to put this on the worst dress list. So next on the best dress list is another surprise, because we had seen Princess Sophia on a tour a couple of days before, and you'll see some of these pictures here. And in some image, especially, she's expecting her 4th child. So of course she's in this kind of strange spot where she is pregnant and everything. But she looked real matronly during some of the engagements on a recent tour she did of farmland with her husband. So I really like this Andiata dress. I love the polka dots we got here, the belt. I love a belt detail. And I kind of like that they have these little fur cuffs. I think that's kind of cool. She also paired it with a Gianvito Rossi pumps. She has a clutch from Susan Stotsmary, and then Van Brom earrings. So I think this is actually a standout look from Sophia, who I found to be sort of hit and miss, and sometimes just kind of leaning into the matronly territory, which doesn't make sense. She's still in her 30s, so I think she can rock a variety of looks, but I don't know quite the reasoning. So I just got to give her a big shout out here because there will be actually, she made the best dress list twice this week, and there is at least one look I'm critical of. So I do have to give her, though, a thumbs up here. All right, next on the worst dress list, I do have to give it to Meghan Markle. And this is not necessarily terrible, although it seems a little odd to be worried about the sun and wearing a huge sweater at the same time. But my big criticism here is the hat. The hat is hideous and the hat is too big. As somebody mentioned, it reminds them of the hat Rachel wore in an episode of Friends that was just so incredibly big and ridiculous looking. I think this looks sort of ridiculous. And part of the reason I do is that I feel like if she is trying to quote unquote not draw attention to herself, why is she wearing a pay attention to me hat? Because if I saw somebody walking around not on the beach with that hat, I'd be like, what on earth are you wearing? Because it just looks a little odd. Did see somebody trying to defend and go, well, the Brits wear big hats all the time. And I'm like, yeah, they're called fascinators, guys. There's a big difference between a fascinator and whatever the heck this is. So she's wearing an Annie Bing sweater in navy Ola Johnson linen pants. She has a Bottega Veneta wallet here, an Anya Heinmark matchbook keychain. And that is apparently what she is trying to merch here because you see this keychain everywhere in every article. It's like the big thing, even though apparently Archie was with her. Apparently, we really, really all need this particular key set. She has her Justin Clow necklace on because we all wear our $15,000 necklaces and then our $18,000 bracelets in order to go and see a bookstore. The bracelet I'm talking about is her evil eye bracelet down here. So anyways, guys, I just have to give it a big thumbs no. I think the hat looks so ridiculous. If you're really trying to go inconspicuous, don't wear a giant hat. I think it looks really weird. Somebody called this California casual. I'm like, no, I know nobody from California who would wear this particular ensemble. So I don't know what California she's dressing for, but it's not where she's at for sure. I don't think there's anything particularly fashionable about this look. So definitely goes on the worst dress list for me. Next on the best dress list is Queen Maxima of the Netherlands. She is wearing a Max Mara outfit pretty much. The pants, the shirt, and I believe the jacket too are all Max Mara. And she also has her GMV Rossi boots on. I love this look. I think it's sleek, it's professional. She's at like an evening concert event in a park. And I'm just really loving this. I love the pearls. I like how it's kind of understated. I think her hair looks good. Maxima, it's kind of hit or miss on her hair. Sometimes her hair looks great, sometimes it looks a mess. And I think she looks particularly great here. This is towards the end of the event, I think. And so loving the earrings, loving the whole look. I just do have to give this a big thumbs up. It's very simple. There's nothing sort of outlandish about it or anything, but it's just something that sticks out. And I go, yeah, I would totally wear that. Looks totally business appropriate. So big thumbs up for Max. So here we have Queen Matilda on the Belgians. Yes, she made the best dress list, but she also made the worst dress list here. I just think this whole outfit is kind of frumpy. So we have a Carolina Herrera coat dress. We have a Nathan Couture clutch. She has a Maison Delavine hat and she has mango pumps. So the mango pumps are a pretty cheap set there. So really good. She is at the 80th anniversary of the liberation of Liege. And so I understand it's a very formal occasion, but I don't know. There's just something that strikes me as really, really frumpy about this. I think part of what brings it down is the floppy hat. I don't know if a fascinator or something more structured might have helped here, but I just feel like this is just kind of like blah. So I know it's kind of supposed to be that way, but still, I just got to point it out. Not my favorite look of the week for sure. So next we have a Queen Mary of Denmark, and she is wearing an Erdem dress from 2014. She has a Bottega Veneta clutch and Gianvito Rossi pumps. I'm loving this sort of floral ensemble. I know Erdem can be kind of hit and miss. I just really, really like these colors. I think they're really flattering on her skin tone. And I think this is just an amazing, like, kick it out of the ballpark kind of look. I think she looks fabulous. This is part of a dinner for those officers who work on the Royal Yacht Damborg. So this is the official yacht that the royal family uses. Here is another look at the dress. And again, thinking it looks really good here. So I've got to give her thumbs up. Great look from Queen Mary. She rarely disappoints. Now, for dedicated royal watchers, she might be one of your favorite royals because it always looks like she so enjoys being on at any royal event she is at. But I do have to say this is This is just bad. It doesn't go together. And that is for Crown Princess Victoria in this particular look. So we have this massive chunky belt, which I don't feel like is on trend at all. This patterned dress and this fascinator headpiece thing that doesn't go with it. Like, I feel like none of these elements go together well. I think rather than this huge, huge chunky belt, best to have something maybe that's a bit thinner. And yeah, I'm just really not liking this at all. And so it's and other stories address. She has an Abro clutch, Gianvito Rossi shoes, Krager earrings here. And I just think, again, this is just so unflattering and so just blah. So blah. And here's a better look at the piece in her hair. I just think, again, looking at this piece, it's just like, ah. It's just it doesn't go. It really just that floral headpiece and everything just doesn't go. Victoria, for a while, she could be really great, but I feel like we've gotten in this sort of rut with her fashion, where so every once in a while, especially at gala events, she can really knock it out of the park. But the rest of the time, I'm like, what are you thinking? This is just not. It's just not a great look. All right, next on the best dress list here, we have Princess Charlene in this red jumpsuit with this brown bell detail. So I have to say, I'm really loving this. I think the red is actually fabulous. We don't really know the designer apparently, but it's a Van Rijk's Paris earrings that she has on here. And I'm just loving this. I'm loving the color. I'm loving the belt. And the belt here is better than Crown Princess Victoria's because even though it's a little chunky like hers is, it's interesting looking. It has this interest to it, whereas Victoria's kind of looks outdated. So I think this is fashion forward. I think this looks absolutely fabulous. I think she looks amazing here. So here she is with her husband Albert and two kids. And again, the red and the brown, I think, really works here amazingly. This is apparently the traditional Pique Montesquieu event. And again, loving the look. This is her daughter, Princess Gabriella, her son, Prince Jacques, and then there's Prince Albert. So again, Princess Charlene showing us how it's done this week. So next on the worst dress list, I do have to sadly give it to Sophie, the Duchess of Edinburgh. So what I will say is I love this Beulah style London dress. I think it's fabulous. I really envy this. She has a coral one, she has a white one, she has a yellow one. She has this one in many different colors. And I think the dress is fabulous, but I hate the hat. I despise the hat. That hat is terrible and ruins the look for me. Completely and utterly ruins the look. And I just don't think it goes with it at all. I think we've seen her. I tend to not like pillbox hats overall. This is kind of like an elevated pillbox hat, you could say. I just think the hat's hideous, and I think it just pulls down the rest of the look. Otherwise, it's not bad. She did pair this with, they were in Ireland, I believe, Northern Ireland. And so it's a yellow dress. She had a light blue jacket on with the blue hat and blue clutch. So I don't know. I think this is a moment to consider clashing colors. It's clashing colors. So I just don't think this looked. And also I had this hat also had netting on it. It's just bizarre. So it's a Jane Taylor Millery halo hat with a veil in navy. And so she's also cheered it with Jimmy Choo shoes. She has her Sophie Habsburg clutch. So again, guys, I'm just going to say the dress is gorgeous, but it is ruined by the accessories. This is a moment where accessories ruin the whole. All right, guys, next on the best dress list, we have Queen Mary of Denmark, and she is wearing a Zimmermann dress. Zimmermann is an Australian brand, and Mary is originally from Australia. So although she is waving the flag of Denmark, she still supports her home country here. We also have some Gianvito Rossi shoes, an Etro rope belt, and a Dulong of fine jewelry earrings. So I really do like this look. I like the casualness of it. They're meeting with some of the Olympians and Paralympians. And so I just got to get handed to her. I'm just really loving this soft pink color of this. Man, I do have one technically Zimmermann dress I found on sale at Nordstrom Rack, but there's so many that I love and I want. Like there was one that Sophie wore, Princess Beatrice wore, maybe even Mary wore. I'm like, man, I really want that dress. It's not available anymore. So here is another look at her outfit. And she has these textured nude pumps on from Gianvito Rossi, and you can get a look better here at the dress. And again, I think this dress is particularly great. So guys, we got Crown Princess Metmar here in this Pia dress. She has an Ulla Johnson jacket on. And I just think this look is all sorts of blah. Don't like the boots with it. I mean, granted, that's kind of what's needed in this area, but he looks very casual. She looks kind of in between. They're just, I don't feel like there's a lot matching here. And she tends to, I think, dress a bit sometimes on the frumpy side, I've got to say. And so I feel like this definitely fits there, but I don't really like the pattern of the dress. The jacket, I don't think works. And you add the boots, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how you maybe fix it because it just doesn't seem to be working. And granted, they are tricky because they are in Norway and apparently it's quite dreary there, but I think there was probably better choices that could have been made. Maybe that's just me, but those are my thoughts there. So next we have on the best dress list, I do have to give it to Princess Madeline. And yes, there's nothing you could say super exciting about this look, but I love the functionality of it. You have a gray sweater with a gray skirt, and it's just supposed to be casual. The Celine bag here, you have Chanel flats, so you have that elevated elegance, you could say, of the designer jewelry. But the outfit itself is from Waku Icons, which is actually a sort of casual brand. It's not super expensive. And I like the simplicity of this. There's a great functionality to it. She's in the childhood offices. Childhood is a charity foundation her mother set up to help protect children online. And Princess Madeline essentially works for them. She does occasionally do roles within the Swedish monarchy, but she is mostly, you could say, a housewife. She's not a full-time working royal, although she will be doing more because she is back in Sweden, and I'm so excited because she lived in the United States for several years in Florida. And although we enjoyed having her here, at the same time, it's nice to see her be able to go back to her home country with her children so that they can grow up with their cousins. I think that would be absolutely fabulous. Her husband has dual citizenship, or maybe tri citizenship now. He had dual citizenship in the UK and the US, and then I believe he got citizenship in Germany. So, really great to see Princess Madeline again be able to be home there with her kids so they can enjoy the full, you could say, experience of being actually royal within the country where you are royal. I think that's kind of important. And also, it keeps her children in the line of succession and keeps their titles. So, Sweden has this rule where you must actually live in Sweden and be educated in Sweden in order to keep your title. And I feel like that's something that most other royal families should adopt. If you're going to have a title from a foreign royal country, you should actually either live there or lose it if you decide not to live there or spend any of your time there. Just saying. So next on the worst dress list here, we have Princess Charlene, this time in a less flattering jumpsuit from Diane von Furstenberg. And then we also have a Louis Vuitton gold sunglasses. I just gotta say, especially when she's standing with her legs further apart, it's a very unforgiving pattern. It just is. It's terrible. It's just terrible. I don't really have much else to say there, but it's just bad. So just be careful what pattern you go for. I think this look would technically look best on a woman who's a size 0 and nobody else. That's kind of one of those things. So yeah, I just would have to say big no to the fabric. I think this would actually look so much better if it was a solid color rather than a pattern here. So I think actually she tends to like jumpsuits. I actually have her on the list again, and it's another jumpsuit look. So she really enjoys the jumpsuits. I don't think they look bad on her necessarily, but I think this pattern here, big ol' no. So I normally don't do this because she would be a very, very minor royal, but I do have to give a big shout out and a best dress look to Alessandra de Orozma, who is a princess of Hanover. She married one of Ernst of Hanover's sons. I can't remember which one, but she's wearing this two-tone Carolina Herrera dress. And so you might think this dress looks somewhat familiar. Yes, it looks very similar to the one Meghan Markle wore in Jamaica, but this one looks 1,000 times better. I love the two-tone. I think the two-tone is very flattering. She is a former model, so she's pretty tall. I don't know how tall, but I think sometimes, I've said this time and time again, if you are a certain height, you can pull off looks that other women can't if they're shorter. Don't shoot the messenger. It's just true. Height does help a lot, I think, in fashion. And so I think this dress is pretty spectacular. She is at a wedding in the Bavarian Alps. And so it's quite fabulous. Actually, I believe Princess Eugenie was there as well, although we only see her for like the ceremony where they're all in traditional Bavarian attire. And for those of you who were on my Germany Austria trip last year, the Bavarian attire looks incredible in the store shops. And I wanted something so bad, didn't buy it at the time. Kind of glad because it's like it would be a kitschy thing that you couldn't really wear everywhere, but it just looks so pretty. And I just, this is obviously not traditional Hanover, but this dress looks spectacular on her. The color and everything, phenomenal. So next, guys, we have Princess Sophia. And just think, guys, this is a couple of days before she wore the fabulous polka dot number. We get this look. This is an outfit for a woman in her 50s or 60s. It's not an outfit for a woman in her 30s. I don't know what exactly she was thinking with this particular look. So I just find this really unflattering and very aging. And so it is a Simbin Lindbergh Jerg. I'm pronouncing that wrong cardigan. She has Annie Bing silk blouse, Mars official heels, and then Chanel lambskin slingbacks she is also wearing. And I just again think this is a very, very unflattering look. It makes her look way older and way heavier than she is because she looks fabulous. We'll see another look here. She looks pretty gosh darn good. And I just don't know what she was thinking with this. I just don't get it. But I feel like Sophia, I don't know why, tends to slide into these looks. I don't know. She used to be somewhat an influencer style model person. And so I wonder if since she's gained weight since having kids, she just can't really figure out her body type and style anymore. Obviously, being pregnant again makes that harder. But I feel like she can look so much better. And not that she looks like this all the time, but she tends to sometimes lean in this direction. So I just do have to put this on the worst dress list. So guys, next on the best dress list here, I have to give it to Princess Beatrice because I am loving this polka dot and blazer jacket ensemble here. And so actually I thought at first this jacket, it reminds me of a Victoria Beard one I've gotten actually in 3 colors now and 3 styles. I am loving my jackets and I love it here with the polka dots. I don't think I necessarily would have thought of that, but I'm loving this ensemble. It's a Zara jacket. She has a Sidra Milano dress on. She has Anya Heinmark clutch, LK Bennett shoes. So again, I give this high praises. I think it's simple, yet elegant and very mimicable. And I like that. I like that a lot. And I just think there's something very, it kind of looks weird because there's somebody behind you. I'm just loving this. I'm loving this. And it makes me feel even better about the jackets from Veronica Beard I purchased. Got them on sale at Nordstrom Rack. I don't know if they're still available. This is called, Lisa and Veronica Beard is called the Kensington style. Seems rather fitting, but looks like Zara has somewhat knocked it off. So if I could find that though from Zara, I don't mind having that either. Again, so cute. Also do have a polka dot dress. So I could so recreate this look. Okay, guys. So next we have Princess Charlene again on the worst dress list with this Diane von Furstenberg number. And again, the pattern with Diane von Furstenberg, and I just don't think this is very flattering. You have to be really careful about patterns. I think polka dots are pretty safe, but some other patterns can really add volume to you. And I think this falls into that category. I don't really like it at all. And so I do have to definitely put it on the worst dress list here. Just, yeah, unfortunately, no. She did knock it out of the park with the red number, but this is, yeah. All right, guys, next on the best dress list here, we have Catherine, the Princess of Wales, as part of her cancer update video. I love the video. I thought it was amazing. All the criticism of it, I think, is ridiculous. And I love this ensemble, though, guys. I am a huge fan of shirt dresses, like 150%. I do have a lot of them. And I loving this. This is a H&M piece from a different season. So it's a pretty cheap dress. And she also was wearing Veja sneakers, which have become a real popularity in many royal circles. So I just think this is a great casual beach look. And that's where they're at when they filmed part of this, at least. So I'm like, yeah, go Catherine. Absolutely loving this. So big thumbs up this week. All right, guys, next on the worst dress list, I do have to give it to Queen Maxima. So yes, she made 2 worst and 1 best dressed. And this is the Clives Anderson blouse and pants. And I will have to say straight up, I love the color of this. I think the color is great. I think she looks great in the color. She has a Nathan Couture bag and Gianvito Rossi mango metallic pumps. She likes Gianvito Rossi. In fact, a lot of royal ladies do. And I will be doing an upcoming video, and I know I've teased this for a while, but looking at the most comfortable royal shoes, and Gianvito Rossi seem to be one of the most, although I will say I injured my toe in July and it actually still hurts. So I might have actually broken it. So until that is fully healed, I can't totally test out which is the most comfortable. But I think looking at this look in particular, what gets to me, and I didn't notice this at first, but obviously notice it in this picture, is whatever is happening down here. The fabric is so unforgiving that I don't know what the heck is happening down there, but it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. I don't know. I guess you can see some of that on the shirt too. So I don't know. What, but obviously you don't really want your undergarments showing through in that way. So I just do have to put this on the worst dress list. I'm not really a fan of the ruffles on the blouse either. I'm not even sure the hat totally goes with it. Actually, I think this would look really gorgeous with a white top. think maybe the rust on rust is maybe not perfect, but I think, oh man, a white top with these pants would look incredible. But she's got to fix whatever undergarment issue is going on down there. So I do have to put this on the worst dress list, but definitely not like the worst, but not totally a fan either. So that's where this one lands. So, guys, next on the best dress list, and yes, we are going and covering a variety of different things. We have a Princess Beatrice in this Erdem shirt dress, and then she also has Chanel flats. And so I will say this looks like actually to be the exact pattern Catherine wore to the Commonwealth Day service. That was in, I believe, 2023. So that's been a while ago, but it looks to be the same pattern to me. I'm actually just really liking this look. I think it's very professional. It seems to be very good for the event they're at, which is opening up a new center for children. It's a hospice center, and I think it looks amazing. I also like Eugenie's look as well, but I think of the two of them, I think Beatrice for me knocks it out of the park here. I think she looks great in navy, so I have to give her a big thumbs up here. All right, guys, so we finally got into it. I've done one Meghan Markle look, but we have three more. Because yeah, it's just not great. So let's do the first one. This is a Club Monaco jumpsuit. And I will say until we get to the end, guys, these are in no particular order. But I just think this is just so tired and dull. And I kind of hate the Jimmy Choo shoes she's wearing here. She wore these in Colombia. I don't think brown goes with the black here. I like, why do you have brown sandals with a black jumpsuit? It's just kind of odd and you can't really see them. But Meghan Markle is going with this silhouette. We'll actually see this a couple more times. It is boring. It is so boring. And yes, I do like shirt dresses and I wear similar styles in terms of A-line dresses quite a bit. But I do like to mix up the style, the pattern, the color. And so it adds a varied interest. This is boring. This is really, really boring. And there's nothing interesting about it. And she does nothing to make it interesting. I don't think, again, she's particularly fashionable. I don't think the shoes match. And let's look at the different angle. You can see, I think this is kind of unflattering, I think, too. And so you see her getting up on the stage here. It's kind of an unflattering angle, but I just really think you can see the shoes don't go with the jumpsuit. Like none of this goes together. And it's not particularly flattering from certain angles. So I would just also have to put this again in the big old no column. And it just, again, is getting very, very repetitive with Meghan in this same silhouette, especially on top here, sort of the razorback, almost halter kind of style. It's getting old and boring and tired, especially when she adds no color or interest to it. So just have to give this a big thumbs down. So again, on the best dress list, we have Catherine, the Princess of Wales, in this Veronica Beard dress, which I'm so sad I did not jump on and get myself because it was on sale in a couple of places before it completely sold out. But I think this dress is pretty fab. I'm really liking it. I like in the pattern. I like a lot of Veronica Beard stuff. Right now, I even liked the outfit Meghan Markle wore in Colombia that was from Veronica Beard. I think again, it has this great, and I like that it's gaining traction. I think it has this great look of being, especially for women in their 30s and 40s. I think that's its kind of sweet spot. And I think that's where it looks great. I like this casualness of this basically sundress. And so I love her walking through the field. And I think she also has the Veja sneakers on there too. And I love this picture of the whole family cuddling together, especially. And again, you can see how great this look is. I'm just really, really loving it. Lots of love to the Wales' family because it's been a difficult period for them for sure. So next on the worst dress list is Meghan Markle with the same silhouette again. This time we do have a short mini dress. And I will say she doesn't look like the legs don't look terrible here. I think it helps actually that she's crossing them. And so the shoes aren't bad, but I really do hate this dress. And it looks even terrible here too. It looks like it has zero shape. And a dress can have shape where it kind of goes in and out, giving curves, but this is just a straight block of a dress. It's a Julie Villa heritage dress. And believe it or not, guys, this little number right here will set you back $1,850. It's almost $2,000 for this. And just a really interesting note about this, because I was on the website and I saw $1,850, but when it refreshed, it went down to $1,450. Now, I don't have a screenshot of the original $1,850, but I've seen other people reporting a similar number. So after Meghan Markle wore it, I guess they're trying to sell more of them by dropping the price $400. So sorry for anybody who wore it before Meghan Markle wore it, but you had to pay $400 more just because Meghan Markle wore it. Now, I think that's really strange and ridiculous. It's like, stick to your prices. And of course, the price change is not going to result in more purchases. Only extremely wealthy people with not very much a sense of style are going to choose this particular dress. So I don't understand the need to drop the price as far as I can tell. Again, it's really hard to get kind of specifics, but seems like they dropped the price just because Meghan Markle wore it. And it's another instance of her seeming to merch. Again, I can find the same thing at any store. Like, there's nothing particularly interesting about this. And if you're paying that much, why isn't it fitted? Why is it literally just a box? I think this would actually look so much better maybe with a belt. I think it's in desperate need of a belt. She also has Aquazzura heels on, a Carolina Herrera bag, and Ray-Ban sunglasses. So again, I would have to say big thumbs down for this. And it's just the same with this sort of silhouette up top. It's getting played out and tired, especially when you insist on wearing beige colors all the time or just neutral colors. It's starting to get really, really boring. So maybe she should try to change it up. We'll see. But yeah, big thumbs down for this one. Now, guys, this is hard because I'm actually picking between two for the best dress of the week. But I think, oh man, maybe they'll share a spot. I don't know. We'll go start with Queen Rania of Jordan. And she is wearing here this floral quilted jacket and waistcoat from Dolce & Gabbana. She has a capucine bag from Louis Vuitton. She has Jimmy Choo pumps on. I got to say, guys, I love the blazer and the waistcoat here. These are fabulous. I love them. They look amazing. I would love to know how much they are. I'm sure they're not cheap in the slightest, but I'm loving this so much. It looks amazing. I love the waistcoat. Again, the waistcoat vests are really, really in right now. So she's definitely on trend. She usually is. I think that's kind of her thing, but just absolutely loving it, knocking it out of the park completely. I'm just like, oh, I want that so bad. Maybe it'll go on sale. I'm all for sale shopping, guys. So hopefully. So, guys, I'm kind of debating with myself because I feel like I maybe should have put Princess Victoria as the worst dress of the week because I just think that whole ensemble is awful. But this definitely also is very much tied with that in so many ways. And that is Meghan Markle at the Godmother's bookstore launch here in this awful, awful, awful white number. This thing is terrible. Like, everything is terrible. She has had these pants, apparently. These are the ones she wore, the hideous pants that she wore to Wimbledon that are too wide. She wore them again with a white shirt tucked in. Different whites, though. Diamond necklace and black shoes. Like, none of this goes together. None of this goes together. It's just awful. I know, I guess people who really like the neutral looks feel like it looks clean. This is not clean. This is messy. This is awful. It's terrible. The pants are awful. They're still dragging on the ground. She's got to wear sky-high heels because these pants are too long and she apparently can't get them hemmed. And I gotta say, since she's had her kids, these pants actually look worse now. White's very unforgiving. And guys, I will be the first to admit I probably would look worse in this ensemble. Of course I would. I'm not gonna say I'm looking better than Meghan, but she has gained weight right here, and I can tell because that fabric is pretty unforgiving. So you can see it right there. It's right there. You can't totally avoid it. And so what you want to do is, of course, minimize something like that by not wearing something that shows it off. And these pants do. And this looks terrible. This just looks terrible. These pants are hideous. Apparently, this still is all Ralph Lauren. I think she has Aquazzura pumps on, maybe. And her Logan Hollowell tennis necklace, which apparently is new now and it's $30,000. So she keeps adding trinket jewelry to her collection. But this is just all sorts of awful. It's really very awful. It's a terrible look. If somebody walked in looking like that, I'm going, And here we can see it from behind. And it just doesn't even look good from behind. It just looks kind of sort of terrible. It like really does. It's not flattering in the slightest. It looks like kinda, I don't know, pancake or something? I don't know. And then the creme de la creme, because I was looking at this and like, wait, is she doing the same thing again? I think she is yet again wearing a black strapless bra with a white shirt. She did that in Colombia. She's doing that again. Does this woman not know anything about undergarments? I guess not. You can again see how the shirt is maybe tucked in here with the bulge. It just and she has like almost this exact necklace but different. So she needs another necklace that's the same, that's $30,000. Like the amount of money this woman wastes on trinket jewelry is kind of ridiculous. Although maybe, just maybe, she's getting it's being merched to her. She's giving it for free so she can wear it. So somebody else can buy a $30,000 necklace. Because, yeah, they're going to buy $30,000 necklaces. This is just awful. It's just so terrible. It's just such an awful look. It just really is. And she thinks, I think, that this is fashionable and interesting. The thing is, it's just not. It's just not interesting or fashionable. Megan just is glomming onto, I think, this style where it is, oh, clean, beige, you look fashion. You don't. You don't. And it doesn't even make any sense with the black accents. That's just dumb because you can't see her shoes because they're hidden in her dress. So how can because you wear black accents to make them pop, and they would pop and maybe look interesting, but you would need to add maybe a belt, and you would also need to be able to see the shoes. The legs of the pants are dragging on the ground, so you can only see this little bitty bit of a black pump popping out. And so how does that work? That doesn't work. That's terrible. That's so terrible. Actually elongate to maybe have nude pumps or white pumps. She has a pair of Aquazzura pumps that are similar beige in color. Those would work so much better than black because the black just doesn't work. But Meghan Markle is not fashionable. I guess she thought since her black bra matched her clutch and her shoes, then that worked. Go figure. But this is just terrible. It's unflattering and it's just boring. You will notice every single style today, very similar style up top. And she needs to, I think, mix it up more because it's, especially with the lack of color, she's coming across as very boring and dull. She literally embodies the term, the Duchess of Beige. Now, when it comes to the best dress of the week, I have a bit of a surprise choice. And actually, it was my choice last week, I believe. And that is Princess Sophia of Sweden in this velvet, gorgeous dress. Oh, this deep red burgundy color. It is gorgeous. Now, I will say she's sort of a little off because both the other ladies are wearing black. But man, this red pops so much. I am loving it. And I've actually could go out now. I'd totally 100% buy this dress. It's an Andia official dress. She has a Gucci clutch, Louboutin heels, and her earrings are from Carolyn's Vinborg. And so I, again, guys, oh, this is stunning. And it's great for a pregnant woman. So you gotta like mix that matronly look with this and like, how do we get from that to that? And this is later. And again, I think this is just, I just love the red here. So, so great. And I have to do a shout out to the shoe shot here. I kind of love it when people do shoe shots. I just think they're amazing. And I also, again, I'm just so curious why, because for a while there was a brand that Sophia was wearing a lot when it came to shoes that were sort of orthotic type heels. And now she's going to Louboutins, which are one of the most like notably uncomfortable heels. So I'm just curious what changed after a while. Again, guys, this deep red dress, it's gorgeous. It's fabulous. It gives me so much fall vibes. And I do have to say, it is my choice for the best dress look of the week. So guys, let me know what you think. Did I get them right? Did I get them wrong? What are your choices for the best and worst dress of the week? I would love to get your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free again to hit that subscribe button, and I look forward to seeing you again very, very soon. Bye.